John 12:32. Now is the judgment of this world. Now will the ruler of this world be cast out. And I, when I am lifted up, this is Jesus talking, from the earth, will draw all people to myself. Draw all people to myself. He said this to show by what kind of death he was going to die. Now the word draw here in 32 is exactly the same word as draw in 644. In 644, Jesus said, "No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him." And in John 12:32, Jesus says, "I will draw all people to myself." Same word. So John 6:44 teaches, I argued last time, that the Father draws people triumphantly to the Son. And all that he draws come, because the drawing is decisive. It's sovereign. And John 12:32 teaches that Jesus draws all to himself, and all don't come. Now, how do those fit together? There are at least two ways to go about fitting them together. One is to say that what the word draw really means is less than decisive drawing, and that God does it to everybody. He gives them a boost out of their depravity. He gives them a start. Everybody on the planet gets this kind of grace, a beckoning, a wooing, an inviting, and an initial liberating boost toward faith, and then waits to see if individuals will maximize that boost and finish it. And therefore, there's no contradiction. If that's what it means in 644, and that's what it means in 1232, then 1232 can be he calls everybody or draws everybody, and clearly everybody doesn't come because the drawing isn't decisive. And you have to go back and reject my interpretation from last week. And all those 5 reasons weren't sufficient. That's one way to go about it, and it's a very, very common way. I would say the most common way in the world, because very few evangelicals grow up, I don't think, taking John 6:44 as seriously as I tried to last week. Here's another way to solve the apparent tension between the two. Namely, the all here means all the sheep, all my sheep, all the children of God, all those who are of God, all those who are of the truth. So let me try to defend that possibility. First, the word all is just all. There's no word people with it in the original. It's just all. Masculine, all. And so literally it's, when I'm lifted up, I will draw all to myself. And the question is, all what? Now we can go to several contexts and see this all defined pretty clearly. The closest one, and very interesting one, is in the immediately preceding chapter. So go with me to 1150 to 52. John 11, verses 50 to 52. You may remember this text. It's Caiaphas, the high priest, and he is speaking under the influence of God and speaking more truly than he knows, John says. He doesn't like Jesus at all, and he's speaking amazingly true things about him here. So let's read verses 50 to 52, and you be thinking now, okay, when Jesus is lifted up on the cross to do a saving work by his death, who are the all that he draws to himself? Is it absolutely everybody, or is it a decisive calling of certain group? That's what you should ask about this text. Nor do you understand, this is Caiaphas talking now, nor do you understand that it is better for you, you Jewish leaders, for you that one man should die for the people. In other words, get this Jesus dead so the Romans won't come and destroy our people. One man should die for the people, not that the whole nation should perish. He did not say this of his own accord. This is John commenting now. He did not say this of his own accord, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus would die for the nation, and not for the nation only, but also to gather into one the children of God who are scattered abroad. So why did he die? Yes, for Jews, but don't lock Jesus into a tribal deity here. Not for Jews only, but, and then the way he says it is just striking. He died to gather into one all the children of God scattered abroad. Well, who would that be? That's the people that God has chosen for adoption. Ephesians 1, 4, and 5. They're scattered all over the place. They're the people that Jesus was referring to in Acts 18:10 when he came to Paul in the middle of the night. He said, "Don't be afraid, Paul, but keep on preaching, because I have many people in this city." What do you mean by that? I got children of God here. I've got sheep here. I've got elect here. You open your mouth and preach, the sheep hear my voice, and they come. So the scope of the death of Jesus here is to gather into one all the children of God. Now, if that's a fair parallel with 12:32, then you go back and you read, "When I am lifted up from the earth, I will draw all the children of God to myself." It's at least as textually warranted as all people. In fact, I don't think there's any textual warrant in the Gospel of John for drawing every human being to the Lord, like 644 is talking. Or you could say, "I will draw all my sheep," because Jesus says in 10:27 or 10:15, "I lay down my life for the sheep." 10:27, "My sheep hear my voice. I know them, and they follow me. So when I'm lifted up, my sheep hear my voice, they know me, they come. And I lay down my life for the sheep." Or you could say, "All who are of the truth." John 18:37, "Everyone who is of the truth listens to my voice." Or you could say, "All who are of God." John 8:47, "Whoever is of God hears the words of God," when they're called. Or you could say,